Here once again, the foursomes matchups, and it gets underway, 7:35 local time, 1:30 a.m. It begins on USA Network. The United States sitting, how's this, a combined 11 major championships. Brooks Koepka, Wyndham Clark, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas on the sidelines for foursomes. Europe is sitting down. Bob McIntyre, Nikolai Højgaard. There are a couple of Ryder Cup rookies. Justin Rose, the veteran who's good in four ball. You expect to see him in the afternoon. And Matt Fitzpatrick. You guys sort of feel like Luke Donald, the shot hadn't been struck, is hitting all the right chords here. What's your sense?
I do. I think he set a wonderful tone, you know, even bringing the cameras into the locker room to sort of let us in on the messaging for the European side, making his team available for interviews. The U.S. Didn't allow Netflix in. They certainly haven't allowed anybody into the media center. They didn't make their team available for interviews. It's kind of, Paul, I don't know how you think about it, but it kind of reminds me of 2004. I know you were part of that when the United States wasn't particularly enamored with the idea of their team signing autographs, and I thought you guys absolutely trumped the U.S. team by signing all the autographs you could find.
Well, you know, I mean, in a team room, I know what it's like there. They're back there now and they're gossiping and they're talking. Can you believe Americans didn't do interviews? Now, it might sound like nothing, but believe me, the psyche in there, it just creates that goodwill, that good sense, and sense that you've got a little bit of an edge going on there, you know. I think, you know, in terms of preparation, I think Europe is a better prepared team here. I know Wyndham Clark had an opposite view yesterday. I strongly disagree with that. I think the European team here is primed. I think there's a lot of good form in that team. I think his picks are strong. And, you know, I think we're coming in here with, you know, a good preparation for this style of golf course.
Why better prepared? What is it that you think the Americans maybe have not done versus what the Europeans are doing?
I know there was personal reasons, but only 9 of the 12 came over. Europe noticed this. That's a little bit of giddiness for Europe. You know, I'm going to use that word giddiness again. You know.
Yeah, but Jordan Spieth's wife Annie was having a baby.
I know. I'm saying I know there's reasons.
The FedEx Cup schedule doesn't allow for a whole lot of time for guys to get over here. I mean, they, you know.
Well, they had 5 weeks off.
They had 5 weeks off. They could have played in California. Only 2 of them chose to play in California. And, you know, they could have played in the BMW PGA. Top 50 in the world were all exempt into that tournament.
Yeah, but then you're making 2 trips over, you know, to Europe with the time difference.
Have a week off in between. Stay in beautiful Europe. We got a lovely place over here, you know. We can look after you. Anyway, look, time will tell on that. I'm not going to go too strong on Europe, and I'm not going to say that America are behind the 8 ball here in any way. This is a very strong American team. The bookies are giving them favourites. The bookies don't make mistakes too often. So this is a very strong one, and Europe are not going to underestimate it. But there's a number of things just manoeuvring behind the scenes that going back to stuff that's happened in the past, and I can see just the domino thing starting to line up for Europe a little bit. I think Luke did a brilliant speech there. I know many people say that what the speech means nothing. It does. As a player, it does. There'll be a really good sense of a job well done when they go back in. I don't know what the rule was with sunglasses, but I think the European team would not be wearing sunglasses, which everybody used to wear them. That looked really strong, so they looked well. Their suits looked good. All of those little things, you know, it gives a feel-good factor. A feel-good factor equates to good golf. So I'm not going to go big on it, but it's just small little things that are kind of edging me to think, you know what, Europe are starting to look nicely primed here.
And I like that Luke Donald took a chance. You know, he put a rookie out in the foursomes first, that second match out. You talk about the fire in that first match, and it is... That's bringing the heat for sure, 2 combustible players. But the ice comes in that second match in Hovland and Ludvig Aberg. You know, I don't know how you feel about it, but putting a rookie out there, I know you thought that's a bit of a risk, but I think Ludvig Aberg is almost unprecedented in terms of his ball striking coming in here.
Yeah, you know, Lucas swapped this discipline around to start with the very, very difficult foursomes tomorrow. You know, the reason why he's done that is Europe have not won the first session, Brandel, since 2006, even at home. So he swapped it around to go with what we're normally good at. But it's a very, very difficult discipline. I really like his pairings of where he's gone, but I would question putting Aberg in with the expectation on his shoulders in this very, very difficult discipline that foursomes is. For me, getting out of the blocks on that first morning is about heart more than anything else. All of these 24 players are brilliant golfers. They can all play brilliant golf. But you're looking for guys who are not going to let you down, who are going to rise to the occasion of the first morning of the Ryder Cup. The second morning is not as intense. The afternoons are not as intense. That first morning is about heart and soul. And you know, you're putting your big egos, the guys who can handle the situation out there. That's how I've always seen it. Now, when you put a rookie in there, you got to be sure that they're absolutely on solid ground. And with such a short window that Aberg has played in professional golf, and the expectation that's on his shoulders, you know, it's a little bit of a risk there. You know, I certainly, and there's so many different ways of doing it, and, you know, Luke has got his own way of doing it, and you know, brilliant people behind the scenes. But for me, it's about mitigating risk and a nurturing of rookies.
Who said that? The great football manager. What did he tell you about that?
Alex Ferguson, yeah, take expectation down, not up. You know, you don't prime it. And he's going to be in the spotlight tomorrow. And look, I mean, he could handle it. We'll have to wait and see. I would be more inclined. I would have taken less risk, and I would have been trying to move him in that direction. I think Straka is more prepared for it, to be honest. I know he's a rookie as well, but I think he's a guy who's been a professional golfer longer, has played in major championships and all the things that goes with it. He's under the radar a little bit, and there's not going to be as much a spotlight on him. I'm expecting him to have a really good Ryder Cup. He's a really strong player, and he's going to be good and well suited to the discipline that foursome is. I just have I would have been cautious, and I probably would have put Aberg in the afternoon rather than the morning. But look, remains to be seen. There's, as I say over and over, there's no one way of captaining these things. But I like the little vibe that's starting to develop behind the European team.
And Captain Luke is going with Viking Power, the two Scandinavians.